Well, the goals of last night was that the Iranian regime felt the need to respond to their domestic audiences, but also more importantly to their regional allies to show that they would do something in which such a high-profile member of their administration had been killed. And at the same time, they didn't want to escalate further. It's been a period of instability. In November and December, there were mass domestic protests over cuts in fuel subsidies, and so there's been a lot of internal issues, and so they're really looking for some stability right now. And so this was their ability to show to domestic audiences that and their regional allies that we are strong and we're willing to stand up to the United States without escalating it further.
And along those lines, do you think that will hold up for them domestically, internally? Because yes, they struck, but they didn't. It didn't seem like they caused much damage, and they didn't kill any Americans, or for that matter, Iraqi personnel. Do you think whoever that was supposed to consume that information, do you think they'll be satisfied with that after Soleimani's death, or?
I think so because the, unfortunately, this is not over, right? U.S. Iranian tensions are going to continue. There's so many various issues from actions in Syria to over concerns over the Iranian weapons program. And so the idea would be that the direct confrontation may be over for now, but we will see various proxy forces continuing to fight and strike blows against regional allies.
And along those lines, uh, because President Trump kind of had that red line of if you kill an American, we're going to come back tenfold on you. In the last 3 or 4 months, obviously they've been prodding the bull, to use an example, in terms of between the shooting down the drone, the oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz, the Saudi Arabian oil field. Do you think because of what the president said, they might be in a position now where they're going to say we need to be less provocative, or would they say we need to be less provocative, where everyone knows it's us, but maybe kind of get into more subversive tactics at this point?
Yeah, and one thing is that just like here in the United States, there are hawks and doves within Iran, and we see like the people that signed the deal with President Obama, they're still in charge of the presidency, whereas other factions want a more hardline stance, and so we'll see this kind of moving back and forth. But it has been traditionally Iran's foreign policy to work through proxies and indirectly rather than direct confrontation.
And in terms of the domestic situation with all the anti-government protests that have been going on there, do you see that basically continuing, or do you think because of their crackdown recently that it might die down for a little bit? What are your thoughts on that?
We do see protests occurring more frequently. So we had mass protests in 2019. At the beginning of 2018, there were also a large number of protests within Iran. The continuing sanctions against Iran by the United States that has really hurt their ability to export fuel, and that's led to rising fuel costs, rising costs of various fruits and vegetables. And so these will continue to be problems, and even with crackdowns, we should probably expect to see more protests in the coming year.
All right. And we talked about it before off camera, but in terms of them doing what they did and not killing anyone and not seeming to be not very accurate with the cruise missiles, and now this morning with President Trump basically saying, "Hey, they did this, they didn't hurt anybody." Does it seem at this point that everyone's just trying to get off that off ramp and kind of diffuse everything?
Yes, it definitely seems that both sides want to de-escalate. Like both the United States and Iran see the Middle East and see various international issues very differently. And while they may be antagonistic and disagree on them, they do not want a direct confrontation. And so we should expect to see a de-escalation and then a flare-up on some other issue, but probably not directly between the two.